I would vote to put Devin Haney in the Hall of Fame today. If he retired today, the resume is the resume, period.
Yes.
But I can't call him a great fighter.
Why not?
You can't call him a great fighter?
Because
of how he's doing it?
He has one great win in his career. Where on that night, he was a great fighter. I thought he lost the fight.
So I give you guys dialogue before, during, and after. I don't duck or dodge. No conversation in the world of boxing. Devin won fair and square. He beat the man. There was inherent danger for Devin. There was danger for Brian Norman. Obviously, he lost. But even for Devin was bad-mouthed about his last performance. To me, that made sense. He didn't look good in the Ramirez fight. But like I said in my post-fight breakdown, you got people like Eddie Hearn and Max Kellerman, two Caucasian men who are in boxing. That's a fact. Ego, why did you say they're Caucasian? Because they're Caucasian, right? Two Caucasian men. And they're painting these narratives on a black fighter that, like, basically he ain't ish. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. I can't get no satisfaction. Devin Haney can't get no satisfaction after beating Brian Norman. Max Kellerman hates on Devin Haney, says he is a Hall of Famer, but he is not a great fighter. We're going to talk about it in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I told you for a long time, I am the best in the business, and it's not even close. Believe me, don't believe me, do what you want with it. The information delivered on my channel, tried and true. There's a lot of low quality content. What Max Kellerman just said was a part of that conversation. In this video, I will break it down like I always do and explain why. So first, you got to hear what he said on his show. Before I let you listen to it, I want you to pay attention to the fact that Devin, according to reports, made more money than David Benavidez. Like, I believe he was the highest paid. If the report that I've seen holds true, Devin made more money than Yard and all these guys. Through Turkey, through the ring, and now on the Ring show, on DAZN, inside the ring, Max Kellerman, they gave him his own show, and after Devin's performance, this is what he has to say about it. Roll the clip.
I would vote to put Devin Haney in the Hall of Fame today. If he retired today, the resume is the resume, period.
Yes.
But I can't call him a great fighter.
Why not?
You can't call him a great fighter?
Because
of how he's doing it?
He has one great win in his career. Where on that night, he was a great fighter. I thought he lost the fight, but it was a close fight against Vasily Lomachenko.
Okay.
Right.
That was a great fighter on that night. Now, he has legitimate Ring Magazine championships now. And what is this, his third?
No. He was just ring champ at lightweight where he was undisputed.
Right. This is the problem with the way boxing is scored and boxing rules in terms of clinching and all that stuff. He basically, I don't mind sitting on a lead. He stopped fighting in the second half of the fight.
But Max, he gets in this fight as the underdog, and his resume is so much longer and bigger than Norman's, but that don't matter. He gets in there, and in the second round, he knocks him down, right? Standing in front of him. Now, he has a big lead, and the name of the game is winning. So you might not like the way he's getting it done, but he's getting it done. And another thing is, I think he's a great fighter. If you look at his resume,
me too.
With Kambosos, when he fought him, it wasn't his fault that Kambosos beat Teofimo, because that was the lead-up fight. But he lost or had to fight Kambosos. Okay, he beat him twice. But I look at Devin Haney now, all I'm saying is, you put him in front of him, he beats him. No matter how we want to call it, how you like it, how it looks, he's winning. The name of the game is to win. So when we look at this thing, I don't know, 10 years from now, we look at his resume, he's beating good fighters, no matter how it looks.
Now, what do I think? Basura! Trash. I mean, how can you respect Max Kellerman's take? I told you from the jump, I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. I told you this. You can believe me. One thing, people say all types of stuff. You'll hear rumors and like bad comments, good comments. I take it all in stride. I know what I am. I know what I've done. I'm the best, right? But here's the thing. Say what you want, but Boxing Ego, I ain't never capped. I ain't never hit record and said something I really didn't feel for clicks and views or whatever. So I give you guys dialogue before, during, and after. I don't duck or dodge. No conversation in the world of boxing. Devin Haney did his thing versus Brian Norman. I told you before the fight, on paper, it's a 50-50 fight. These are my words. You can go back and watch the tape. I said there's a pathway for Brian Norman to win if he fights right. There's a pathway for Devin Haney to win if he fights right, which is why I'm vested into this fight. I want to see the fight. And to me, it was the main event because I knew for a fact David Benavidez was going to beat Anthony Yarde. I told you guys this, right? So for me, I like Benavidez. I always will enjoy watching him fight as long as he keeps fighting like he's been fighting. But the Yarde fight, there was no intrigue to me. I was more intrigued with Mason and Sam Noakes because there's a two undefeated fighter. You don't really know how that's going to go. Bam's fight, he's a great fighter. And David, I was pretty confident that both of those guys were going to win. So for me, my main event, what I needed to see was Devin Haney, Brian Norman. And again, I don't get on here and cap. Brian Norman and his dad did an amazing job building up the fight, getting you vested in, and making you believe they had a chance to beat Devin Haney. They definitely did that. They had some clever lines. They were winning the press battle, but that's only half the battle, right? You got to close the show. What they did November 22nd, they did not close the show. In fact, less than. It was very underwhelming from Norman. Big power guy who talked a lot, guy who's like, I got bricks. Don't stand in there and trade with me. Devin did what he wanted. He fought the better fight, the better strategy. He was aggressive early. And then I did tell you in the second half, he kind of flattened out and trailed off. But Brian Norman still didn't capitalize. It's not like Devin slowed down and Brian Norman was like dominating him. It wasn't even like that. So for people like Max Kellerman and all these other people who watched the performance, it's one thing to say Norman's going to win or Haney's going to win. But once it's shown to you, then there should be no conversation. Devin won fair and square. He beat the man. There was inherent danger for Devin. There was danger for Brian Norman. Obviously, he lost. But even for Devin was bad-mouthed about his last performance. To me, that made sense. He didn't look good in the Ramirez fight. But like I said in my post-fight breakdown, you got people like Eddie Hearn and Max Kellerman, two Caucasian men who are in boxing. That's a fact. Ego, why did you say they're Caucasian? Because they're Caucasian, right? Two Caucasian men. And they're painting these narratives on a black fighter that, like, basically he ain't ish. Eddie Hearn, he's doing interviews like, all right, you won, congrats, but that was weak. That's basically what you're saying. Devin won, but I wasn't impressed. It was boring. It put my kids to sleep. This is what they do to black fighters, bro. Max Kellerman, how dumb is his show where you have an NFL player who is making more sense than the lifelong boxing commentator? I don't know what point things changed for Max Kellerman, but it's very apparent that Max is compromised and he is no longer the same fighter or fight analyst or whatever that we seen way back in the day on HBO. And now you're trying to turn your show to First Take or Jerry Springer. You got removed from the real First Take on ESPN because there wasn't enough banter. So it sounds to me either you got some internal issues with certain fighters or you're trying to Jerry Springer your show. Jerry, and you're trying to get that Jerry Springer feel where you just wanted to be gossip. See, and this is what's wrong with podcasts now. When podcasts first came out, there weren't so many, which was good because I feel like the people who are really qualified and took the steps to open up a podcast, they were doing their thing. Boom. Good guest, good conversation, dialogue. But now we went from having like, let's say, one movie review podcast to having 1,000 of them. Now you got 999 extra opinions that ain't worth a lot of times. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, this was a bad movie. I hated this movie. It's like, what you know about movies? You know what I mean? And now we're seeing the same thing. I know in my industry because I pioneered this in the digital age. You have to understand when Ego started, being a digital boxing analyst was shunned. It was like considered bottom of the barrel. Who is this guy, Ego? What does he know? He's at home in his room and he's making these videos. Why should we trust him? But over the years, you guys have gotten to know when it comes to this boxing thing, why you should trust me. But then you got Max Kellerman, you got a budget, you got a show, you got co-hosts, these people on salaries, and they're saying foolishness. You just said Devin is a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's not a great fighter. Think about that. Do you understand how dumb that sounds? That's like saying, let's say a barber, he took an hour and 10 minutes and produced a fade. It was tapered and blended well. The beard is like smooth, good transitioning. You know, he worked with the person's grade of hair, but the haircut took an hour and 10 minutes. And then the final result was a good result. It's a nice fade. You wouldn't then say, oh, it's a nice fade, but I still can't say they're a great barber. You see how dumb that sounds? That's kind of what you're doing to Devin Haney, bro. You're saying he's a Hall of Famer, resume is resume, but he's not a great fighter. Either that, or maybe you need to articulate that better than what you just did. I let you listen to it, because that sounds stupid to me, right? You could say he's a great fighter or a good fighter. He's doing his thing, but I hate his style, because then it makes it more subjective and you personally don't like the way he fights. But for me, my thing is this: it is boxing, the art of hit and don't get hit. And if sometimes fights are like that, Devin Haney front loaded his work early to the point where he can coast in the back half of the fight. Canelo's done that. Y'all don't know boxing. I know boxing. You don't know. Girl, you don't know Nan? No Nan fella like me. Y'all know Nan, bro. I've seen Canelo do that in several fights. Austin Trout. They had some weak open scoring. Canelo won early rounds. Then he knocked Trout down. And he knew he was up big because of the open scoring in Texas, which is BS, right? So he coasted it, and he really wasn't doing nothing, where Austin Trout was still trying to win, right? All of Canelo's recent fights that he wasn't getting cooked by Bivol or Crawford kind of look like that, where he drops Munguia, he drops Berlanga, and then the second half of the fight, he ain't really doing too much. So all the action was early on in the fight. But then when a black fighter, Devin Haney, does it, he ain't a great fighter. Come on, man. Come on. Like, we got to be real, bro. We got to be real with the diatribe and dialogue that we having. And sometimes it's embarrassing to be a boxing fan, bro, because this is the company we're around. You know what I mean? Where everybody said it was a dangerous fight before. Devin gets through the danger, but now you don't like how he got through the danger. Like, come on, like, you got to pick your battle. Which one is it? People were saying Brian Norman had a chance to knock out Devin Haney and to do something funny and left hook and this and that. It didn't happen. Give the man his props. Like, why is that so hard for people? See, I told you from the day I started, I'm never going. It's not even that serious to me, bro. And I feel like it makes you look worse when you're a doubter and then you get proven wrong and then you still act like you still have major doubts, right? Let me know what you think. It's just disgusting what we see in boxing, bro. And I feel like it's black fighters that get done like this. When Lomachenko, he arguably lost to Jermaine Ortiz. They're not talking about that. He did lose to Salido, never rematched him. Lost to Tio, never did a rematch. Why Loma don't do no rematches? But then they keep bringing up Devin had a close fight with Loma. Okay, Loma had a close fight with Jermaine Ortiz, and he really should have lost. Why he ain't avenged his... Man, I'm done. Y'all know what it is. Subscribe. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new, but even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate. So ultimately,